UFC 212, Anderson Silva collides with Kelvin Gastelum. Anderson Silva is the greatest UFC fighter of all time, and it's a fact. And although he's 41 years old now and he fought some really tough fights with some of the toughest fighters out there, he hasn't fought as great as he used to. Anderson Silva used to go out there and bewilder his opponents, confuse them, and knock them out like they were nothing. And these days he's actually had to put up fights. We've seen fights from Anderson Silva, and in the Daniel Cormier fight at UFC 200, he came in there on short notice and he actually stunned the champion. He hurt him bad in that fight, and he fought an amazing fight versus Michael Bisping. He fought another champion. So he fought two champions. Michael Bisping became a champion later on, and then recently he fought Derek Brunson. And I remember after the fight, a lot of opinions, people saying that they thought he lost the fight. I thought that you gotta leave that up to the judges. Anyway, Kelvin Gastelum is only 25 years old, so there's gonna be a vast difference in age in this fight. We have the 41-year-old Anderson taking on a 25-year-old. We also have a major height disadvantage for Kelvin Gastelum. Anderson Silva is 6'2", while Kelvin's only 5'9". Kelvin's a small middleweight. He had problems making weight at 170 pounds, and now he's fighting at middleweight, and he has 3 wins in a row, 2 knockouts in a row. Knocked out Tim Kennedy at UFC 206, and then defeated a legend. He went out there and demolished Vitor Belfort. So he's fighting another Brazilian, he's fighting another bigger man, he's fighting another older man, and Kelvin Gastelum at 25 years old, you know, people say he had problems making weight, but look at what he's done for his age. He's fought everybody. He fought the champion Tyron Woodley and won a 3rd round in that fight. So many fights, so many wins. This guy has so much potential, and he's a tremendous wrestler, but he has so much power in his fists. Now, Anderson's going to have a reach advantage. Who's going to have the speed advantage here? That's a big question going into the fight. Is Kelvin going to be able to connect, or are we going to see a 3-round affair? And I just think this is so interesting, seeing a young gun like Kelvin go in there versus a legend like Anderson Silva. And I think this is really spicing up the UFC 212 card. I guess you got to go with Kelvin here. I mean, look what he did to Vitor. Look what he did to Tim Kennedy. I think he retired him right there. Fought great fights. Anderson Silva has also fought great fights, and I think a lot of people have doubted both these guys. I think that's a thing that I wanted to say personally about these fighters, is that people have doubted them. They've doubted Kelvin, they've doubted Anderson Silva, and I just don't see why. I think these guys are just great, and I just don't see it. And I want to ask you guys, the fans, if you see it, or if you think this is going to be just an all-out war, a great fight between two very different fighters. Who do you think is going to win? I think Kelvin Gastelum, he's going to land a knockout in this fight, and we're going to see Anderson go down. So I'm going to go 1st round by Kelvin Gastelum, another knockout, and he's going to further cement his quest for the title. And we might see this guy getting a title shot. He is 25 years old. Think about what he's done. It's going to be a sick fight. UFC 212 shaping out to be a great card. So peace out, guys. Love you all, and thanks for everything.